Welcome to Wisdom for Nonprofits, bringing the best business wisdom to the nonprofit world. Proven leaders share their experience, insights, and best practices. Finally, a podcast for the busy nonprofit professional. And now, your trusted advisor, Bettina Meyer-Flug.
Hello, nonprofit professionals. My name is Bettina Flug, and I'm here today to talk about how nonprofits can make a big impact. You know that breaking barriers, you can build capacity using technology? Yes, that's true. I've been working with CRMs for a long time. I started, 10 years ago, helping some franchise companies implement Dynamics from Microsoft. And when I moved here to United States 5 years ago, I decided to learn more about CRMs. And on my investigation, I figured out that Salesforce has a special dedication for nonprofits. And they offer every nonprofit 10 free license. This CRM is the one that the most famous companies are using. So we're going to talk today how you as a small nonprofit can make a huge impact. Let's start. As we look across the global landscape of tens of thousands of nonprofits, each year we see more and more small nonprofit organizations implementing new ways to make a bigger impact. Many are evolving in reacting to new community needs, government policies change, or finding a shift. Others are completely rethinking their strategy and use the latest advance in technology. The most groundbreaking innovation we had seen have come from emerging nonprofits, the community-based group, the neighborhood charities, and grassroots startups. What do we mean about small? We are talking about organizations under 75 employees. This could seem small, but it's hard to manage 75 people or even less. I know that a lot of nonprofit professionals, they wear different hats all the time. It's not easy, but you can make a huge impact. We're going to talk about how Salesforce can help you go beyond the barriers of your limitations. You have to treat technology like a strategy investment. Technology can help you not only at your office to prepare reports, but also to help you better run your program. It's so important not to treat technology like office supply costs in your operation budget. You should consider as a resource to bring more funds and efficiency to your organization as well. Avoid collecting tech clutter. What do I mean about that? Last year I was visiting a nonprofit called Neighbor to Neighbor, and I saw at the meeting room a pile of handsets. Why they were there? They just implemented a new virtual phone technology, and all the equipment are useless now. It's very important for you to take decisions thinking in long term. Maybe you think Salesforce or other CRMs are too expensive for your organization, and then you start using different tools, less expensive, and once you notice, you have different styles on your organization. Your program management is using one tool, your fundraising team is using another one, the executive director is using some other tools. So how can you get out of the silos? It's so hard to integrate tools. Why don't you start with a tool that can help you be more even in all the channels and all the areas of your organization? That's an important question. Let's talk a little bit more about siloed organizations. I have seen a lot of nonprofits that have more than 3 different systems to run their organization. And this is very common. For example, you can have a fundraising department using a donor management system, the person who helps you with grants using another one, a board member using QuickBooks, your volunteer manager using another one, and probably your program director have another one too. Can you imagine how hard it is for an executive director to prepare a report considering so many tools? It's really hard. How do we make the move? Modern nonprofits constantly evaluate options of improvement. The same way, more professionals from nonprofits are coming to our industry. As you can perceive, more and more nonprofits are capable to attract amazing professionals, and they bring their work experience with other systems to their organizations, and they want the same standards. They want mobile access and an easy to use experience. Okay, let's talk a little bit about why should we change. There are plenty of whys, but in my perception, I think we need a tool that can help us move in our world, in our society. I attended to a special event in San Francisco 3 years ago and 4 years ago, where they gather around 3,000 nonprofits in a single location. And they were discussing about the first industrial revolution, the second, the third, and we are right now in the fourth industrial revolution, where we have Internet of Things, where we have artificial intelligence. And in the nearly future, it's going to be very common for us, for example, to place orders on Amazon using our refrigerator. And I see a lot of nonprofits that aren't even ready to send email campaigns. So how can we bring them to this new environment that all the users are used to, all your donors, all your supporters, all the people that is going to interact with your organization? They are used to these new tech tools. And you have to upgrade your environment to be able to communicate in the channel that these people want to talk with you. How do we get people excited about this new move that you're planning to do on your organization? First of all, it's very important to ask your main leaders of your organization what are their tech problems? What are the processes that they want to automate? What are their pains? It's important for you to have this interaction with your leadership because people normally are more comfortable to use tools they are used to. So you have to find your champions and make them part of this process, giving them ownership of your project. Now that you have all your team on board, let's investigate a little bit more. It's hard here on this podcast for me to do a demo of NPSP. NPSP stands for Nonprofit Success Pack. It's the package that Salesforce prepared for nonprofits, but I will try to give an overall vision of what can be done inside this tool. Okay, I'm going to explain area per area and what is possible to be done over there. First of all, you have the constituents profile. Over there is very easy for you to insert all type of contacts. So your donors, your constituents, your employees, and you can personalize all the areas and all the fields to include the data that's important for your organization. Another area of NPSP is the household and relationship area, and this is directly attached to your contacts. For example, if you are a nonprofit who helps families and you have youth and you have the parents involved with you in all your interactions, you can have the household storage over there, for example, the family Meyer-Pflug. And under the family Meyer-Pflug, you can have the father, the mother, the kids involved in the program. And you can see all those relationships in an easy way and also in a graphic demonstration. The third area that's very important is the donation. You have all the donation history from each household or each contact, and you can also track, for example, if you have a matching donation. An organization locally, for example, in our town, it's called Otterbox. Maybe they have a matching program and you have a person who is donating to your organization. You can link the company that's matching the organization and track all the receivables over there. So you know which was the amount that the individual donor gave it to you and the company who was doing the matching. So there are different types of donations, in-kind donations, and you can track all type of donations and relate them to the household or to the contacts. Another area of the package is the interaction. So you can track all the interactions you have with this person. For example, if you send emails to them, if you send them text messages, if you give them a call, or even if you had a meeting in person, All the interactions with this individual can be tracked over there. If they participating in an event that you have organized, everything is over there. There is another area called case management. You can track over there a lot of information. So with somebody, you have a nonprofit, for example, like Alternatives to Violence. I can give you an example. A female calls them and is asking for help. The case manager can create a case over there, can create a content, and can explain the step-by-step what is going to be done to support this person, and can help through until the whole process is done. And then you're going to have the historical data. Many nonprofits have professionals wearing different hats. If you have an employee of your nonprofit that took vacation, if you have the historical data on the case, everybody can support the new constituent that is calling you. Another area from NPSP is the grants management tool. This is a very important area because this is where the income comes from many nonprofits. In the grant management area, you can include all the information about the grants. For example, when is due to deliver each project. What are the deliverables that you have to have? For example, if you have more than one professional inside your organization working to deliver this grant, you can have all the tasks related to achieve the completion of this grant. You can have deadlines. And next year, if you're going to apply again for this grant, all the historical data can be migrated to the new opportunity. Collaboration. How does collaboration work inside Salesforce? As I mentioned, a lot of professionals are coming from regular companies to work in the nonprofit world. And they expect high standards. They expect to have a tool where they can interact with their peers. And even now that we have those remote working professionals supporting nonprofits. So Salesforce offers a tool called Chatter. On Chatter, you can connect to cases, you can connect to contacts, to companies, to household. So all the interactions can be tracked and related to the information you have inside Salesforce. It's very efficient and mobile friendly, so anywhere all your employees can be talking and knowing what they're talking about, collaborating and helping your organization move forward. This tool was built not by tech people, but was built by professionals from nonprofits giving feedback to Salesforce to make it happen. Another area of the NPSP is the notes and attachments. This is very important. Over there you can storage files, you can storage any related notes and attachments to companies, households, contacts, donors. For example, I helped Bridges. There is a nonprofit located in Memphis who helps students. And whenever they enroll to the program, there are a lot of documents that the parents need to sign for them to participate on the program. All those documents can be stored on the contact field with notes and attachments. Another thing is campaigns. So if you have events, marketing campaigns, everything can be organized inside Salesforce. So you can analyze, for example, if you're organizing a gala, you can analyze the return on investment of this event, for example. You can track all the expenses, all the tasks, and next year, if you're going to run the same event with another volunteer support, you can give to this new volunteer all the historical data of the previous event done in the other year. So managing events, managing campaigns is pretty easy on Salesforce. A big donation. So your executive director might call this person, you might write a thank you letter, you might have a board member calling this donor, for example. Those are examples of engagement plans. You can have an engagement plan attached to new volunteers. For example, an onboarding process for volunteers. You can have step-by-step every task included on the system to help the person who is running the program or running the volunteer management to know what they need to do with a new volunteer. Engagement plans can help you bring patterns to your organization, flows and processes. Now I'm going to help you with tips on how to prepare your organization to implement a new CRM. It's very important for you to take time to work with your key staff to answer some questions. What are those questions? The first one, what are your organization goals over the next 6 months, year, and a few years? What are your big opportunities? What pain points prevent us from growing? What process do we want to improve? What problems will be implementing Salesforce help us solve? In what areas of our business are not planning to tackle? How is our constituent experience right now? What are the programs and services that we have? How do we want all those experiences to change? What outcomes will show us that we have been successful in this project? Something very important for you to do is to make some samples of pain points that you have in all the different areas. So you can separate in stakeholder groups. For example, all your executives, all your development staff, all your marketing staff, all your event staff, the program management, and start to writing down all the pain points they have in each area. After you've done all those lists, you have to start creating stories to help you identify your goals. Your Salesforce project isn't about implementing a list of features. It's about getting the tools you need to do your work even better. Implementing Salesforce, it's only about recruiting more animals, providing meals to more clients, or getting more volunteers involved in cleaning up the environment. That means Salesforce is about getting into your mission. When I talk about writing stories, I'm going to give you some examples. A story could be an executive director. I want to see the fundraising projections for the next 6 months so that I can give the board an accurate picture of our funding outlook. So how will you know it's been met? On the day of my board meeting, I can run a report and trust that the numbers are correct. A story for a major gift officer. I want to know where my prospects are in the pipeline so I can plan and prioritize my activities for the next week. How do I know it's been met? I can see all my prospects, their status, the last touch, and the next steps in one single place. As a program management, I want to categorize the type of community care that's being requested so that I can report on how many people are served within each sub-program. How do I know this being met? I have the pre-configured report that shows me the number of people served by sub-programs. By writing down those stories and how do you know this will be met, the next step is to prioritize. What do you want to solve first? Once you have the priority of each area, it will be easy for you to start your project. After defining your Salesforce implementation project vision, identifying all your pain points, and creating the stories to help you identify your goals, your next step is to find a partner to help you on this implementation. Salesforce can look like very easy for the end user, but the background to prepare everything with best practice is not easy. I want to mention something important too. Salesforce offers training for free for any kind of professional. And those trainings can be found on the website called Trailhead. So if you go on Google and search for Trailhead Salesforce, you can create an account and start studying. But by studying, it's not easy to implement a Salesforce for a nonprofit. I recommend you to choose a very good partner to do that. I have partnered with a CRM professional here in Colorado to help you out implement Salesforce in small organizations. How we do that? We go to your organization, we understand all your process, we prepare a document explaining all your needs, and then we give you an estimate of hours to implement this project. And we can work together, training your staff, preparing your environment, and doing everything for you to have a successful implementation. After a very successful implementation, you'll be able to get real-time information about your client, your constituent, collaborate with everyone involved in supporting your organization. You'll be able to build and maintain long-term relationship with your major donors. You will be able to capture all the interaction with your stakeholders in one single destination. We will show you clearly the depth of all your involvement in the organization. Salesforce will be your everyday tool, and all the stakeholders inside the organization will be able to interact and have accurate information to use on a daily basis. If you want to know more, you can schedule a call with us. Our email is info@wity.tech. info@wity.tech. I encourage you to investigate with other nonprofits who have already implemented Salesforce and take this step into the future. We are in the fourth industrial revolution, as I said, and you have to take actions to prepare your organization to be able to interact with all your stakeholders in a different level. We're here to help you on this mission. Contact us again at info@wity.tech. Thank you very much for your time. I know time is the most valuable resource that we have nowadays. I appreciate you spending this time with us. You can count on us to help your small nonprofit make big impacts. See you later.
Thank you for listening to Wisdom for Nonprofits. To hear past and future episodes, please subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast channel. We appreciate your reviews and suggestions for future show topics. If you have a question or a suggestion, please write to us at podcast@wity.tech. More resources are available for you at our website, wity.tech. And please join us in the Wisdom for Nonprofits group on LinkedIn. Wisdom for Nonprofits is copyright 2019 by Bettina Meyer-Flug and wity.tech. All rights reserved.